So what's the scariest thing of all in Raid on Halloween weekend? A winner-take-all event for Sanguine Maria's soul. Let's do this. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hollywood here, wishing everyone a happy week after Halloween weekend. So right now we have the Sanguine Maria Soul event going on. So if we go over here to the tournaments, we can see we have the Champion Chase tournament going on right now. And the top prize for the Champion Chase is Sanguine Maria's Soul. So we'll see once this loads here, we can see that I'm currently sitting in 4th place. So while this isn't part 2 technically of my Sniping 101 video, this is kind of another sniping type video. These type of events are a lot harder to snipe than the champion training events, because these basically are events where in order to win you just have to pull a bunch of shards, and everyone who pulls more shards than the other is the one who ends up winning. You can get a bunch of whales or krakens winning these kind of events, which usually happens. Now the last event that was like this was the Shredder tournament. They had a champion chase for Shredder, and I ended up losing that event with just over 12,000 points. So right now I'm sitting at 6,800 points, and I feel that with the shards I have now, I can probably get just over another 7,000. So that would put me at 13,000. Now, these top 3 players have not changed for most of the day, and I'm not sure if they're anticipating a snipe here. We have a 2x event on Ancients going on right now, so this is the best time to pull your Ancient Shards. So I was originally on the fence whether I was going to pull for this or not, but because it's a 2x event on Ancients, which is a good time to pull shards, and having Sanguine Maria without her soul is not optimal, I'm going to pull some shards for this event. So when we take a look at our summoning portal screen here, we can see that we have just over 20 minutes left in our progressive chance and 2x event. But the interesting thing here is, if we go over to the events calendar, go into the tournaments, we can see that we have 47 minutes left in the Champion Chase tournament. So what this means is we have another 20 minutes left to pull at better rates, improved rates for this Champion Chase. But if this person notices me trying to snipe them here, within half an hour after that, they'll have an opportunity to reply. With that said, if I can do this just as the 2x wraps up, then anyone trying to reply to this will have to pull shards on a non-2x event, and that will be less optimal for them. But as we can see here, this hasn't moved in some time, so I'm just going to wait here until it ticks down to about 45 minutes, and then I'll start pulling some shards, and then we'll see if there's any kind of reply after that. Now you can see I have 168 ancient shards here that I can pull. If I move to the side here, I have 20 sacreds, but I'm not going to pull 20 sacreds. I'm probably going to pull 4 of those just to give me an extra 1,000 guaranteed points. And this is going to be also dependent on how many legendaries I get, because this is dependent on the type of champion you get, not the type of shard you pull. So the better quality champion I get, the more points I get for this tournament. So we have 18 minutes left here. I think I'll wait until this runs down to about 15 minutes and I'll start pulling some shards. Now after I pull these shards, I do also have a couple of saved up fragment fusion champions to pull and Broadmaw fusions to pull. So I can pull those also for about an extra 1,700 points. And I will pull those after this event runs out because they aren't affected by this 2x event. All right, we have just over 15 minutes here in our progressive events and our 2x events. So I'm going to pull some shards now and see what happens here. See what kind of champions I can get. In 100 ancient shard pulls, I can probably get at least one more legendary. In 4 sacred shard pulls, we'll see what we get here. At least 1,000 points in this event. I'll pull the sacred shards first. Purple. Aranus. Another purple. We have Cage Breaker. Pull one more. Oh, we have a legendary. Walking Tomb. Oh, wow. This guy's an interesting new one. Knight's Revenant. So I'll come back and I'll review his kit a little bit later. I'll keep pulling here. I'm going to stop at this one for now. And we'll go to the Ancient Shard events. See how many points we can get in this here. 340 on that one. Ultimate Gaelic. I don't think I have him. And my Orc faction isn't very good, so that'll be useful. I never had an extra copy of Hilda from the last Fusion event, so that'll be good to have a copy of her. There are some legendary champions that are on my most wanted list here. Got Miscreated Monster in that one, and I will use that to empower him. Gory, I don't think I have him. Jarrig, I don't have him. I think he's pretty new as well. That wasn't very good at all. Blue tax on that one. Maybe we'll get a good one here. We'll see what happens. So we haven't been getting an overly abundant chunk of epics. Geez, we got another blue tax here. Okay, we'll see what we're up to there. 88, so we probably have another 30 or so to go. All right, that was a little better. Make up for those ones that we had blues. We'll try one more and see what we get here. Okay, we're down to 38 shards here. I'm going to pull one Primal Shard. Sandlash Survivor, and I'm going to pull 3 Void Shards here, and hopefully we can get, maybe I'll pull 5. I'll pull 3 to 5, see what we get. We're going to pull till we get a epic. Ifrit. Huntress. Rock Beast. And Cold Heart. Let's stop there and see what we got for points. Okay, we'll go into our tournaments events here and we'll see what we have for points. We have 36 minutes left. And we got the 2 top prizes here in the tournament. And looks like we got about 10,000 points out of that, and we have 35 minutes to go in this event. So we'll just sit now and we'll wait and we'll see what the other guys do. I'll show you over here what I have. If we go over to the portal here and we look at the fragment summoning, you can see I have a Yannicka here that I can pull, and she'll be worth another 500 points if I want to pull Yannicka. And if we go over to the fusions here, we can see that with Broadmaw here, I have another couple of Broadmaw fusions that I have ready to go here. So that would be another 700 points if I need that. So that would be another 1,300 points if I need that. But we'll just sit around here and we'll wait to see if anyone responds. So we got this guy here, Walking Tomb Drang. Let's take a look at his kit. A1, Corpse Fire. Attacks one enemy 2 times, instantly activates any HP burn debuffs on the target after attacking. A2, Exalted Pyre. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted. HP burn. Death's Balance. Equalizes the HP of all allies and attacks one enemy. The HP levels of all allies will be brought to the level of the ally with the highest HP. The attack will ignore 30% of the target's defense if the target's current HP is equal to or lower than this champion's current HP. Will decrease the cooldowns of Exalted Pyre skill by 1 turn if the target's current HP is higher than the champion's current HP. So it will decrease the cooldown of this skill. Now, one of the things I have to say is, do I think this kind of event is fair for all the players? Once we do a fusion event and then only 1 in 50 get a soul? This isn't really the reason why we do a fusion event. Usually when we do a fusion event, the whole point of doing a fusion event is to get a good champion that's usable right away, and usually we are able to get their soul in a little bit of an event after the fusion event. So most people who do the fusion are able to get the 5-star soul. Now in this one, only 1 in 50 players. Let's see what we got here. How many actually put points here? There's people who didn't put points here, but there's definitely a few people who may have wanted this soul. So if this holds on here in the next 7 minutes, I will be able to get the soul for Sanguine Maria, and then I'll be able to use her in arena, which is good because that's the reason I did the fusion. And I think one of the reasons that Plarium did this is because most of the people who want Sanguine Maria are going to want to use her in arena, and it seems to me that a lot of the people who actually spend money on this game, or quite a bit of money, the whales, the krakens, are people who play arena. So this is kind of a way for the game to get some money from those players. So one of the things with that I would have to say is just be mindful of how some of these games are trying to make players play. Most of the time you can play these games, you can play them with putting minimal amount of money on the game. You can get maybe a monthly pass or a monthly gem pass, a monthly energy pass. Those are the best uses of your money if you want to spend a little extra money on the game to do a little better. Those aren't expensive. It's a pretty cool looking champion, this Sanguine Maria. She's based on the Bloody Mary urban legend. So you say her name 3 times, Sanguine Maria. You got to say it in a dark room with a mirror there. I don't have any mirrors in this room, so I can't do that. But I remember kids when I was younger doing the urban legend with Bloody Maria. So she's a very cool looking champion. She's got some very cool abilities in arena. And once I get her built, we'll take her into arena and see what kind of damage we can do with this champion. So hopping back into the event here, we can see that we have about 5 seconds counting down in this event, and barring any craziness, looks like we've won this event here. Positions are being finalized now. Now it looks like that I've successfully sniped another tournament. Sometimes these things can happen like this, but they don't always happen like this. The last event that I did like this was the Shredder event, and I ended up losing that event with just over 12,000 points. You can see this person here came in 2nd place with 11,000 points. There's a couple of different ways to approach these kind of champion chase tournaments. One of the ways you can approach these to win a tournament like this is to, as soon as the event opens, just drop a bucket load of points into this event, maybe 5 to 10k points. And basically what you do with that situation is you kind of announce to everyone that, hey, I'm going to win this event and nobody touch me. And a lot of times you won't want to try and take on a player like that because you don't know how many resources they have. They could be a whale or a kraken. They could be someone who's spending a bunch of money on the game. And you don't really want to get yourself involved in a kraken or whale war. There's some of these I've seen already in these events where there's several players up to 17,000 plus or 20,000 plus. The other way you can win this event is to do basically exactly what I did, is you can wait for someone to get out in the lead, kind of keep a arm's length position behind them. I was in a place where I knew that I had enough points where I could catch up to them, so I could hang back in 4th or 5th place and they weren't even looking at me. So when the final hour of these events hit, you can hop in there and see what the event is looking like, and if you think you can catch up and drop a bunch of points there in the last half an hour, that's a time where you can take one of these events. Now you have to be careful too, because you have to make sure that there's not going to be any server maintenance or any sort of weird disruptions. So you want to give yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of leeway. You also want to give yourself a few minutes at the end, just in case you notice someone else making an additional push. Okay, it looks like the event positions are now finalized and I can claim the rewards for this. So I've claimed the rewards for the Maria Soul. And I did fuse Maria and I leveled her up earlier today. So let's go over to the Altar of Souls here. Awaken. I got Maria here. And I can awaken her. Perfect. 5-star soul on Sanguine Maria. So that'll do it for today's video. Turned out to be another Sniping 101 video, part 2. So wishing everyone a fantastic and happy post-Halloween weekend week. And we'll see you all next time. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you've gotten anything from this content. Every little bit helps. I'm not a sponsored or full-time content creator yet, so every little bit you can do for this channel helps me out and moves me in a better direction to be able to bring you more content more often. So thank you very much for stopping by again, and wishing everyone a fantastic day and a fantastic week. See you all next time.